We have reached a point in modern performance training where elite cardiovascular endurance is almost always traded for the long-term health of our joints. Every time a runner's foot hits the pavement, a wave of kinetic force travels directly up the leg, compressing cartilage and grinding down the knee. This repeated mechanical stress often forces aging adults out of the gym entirely, while elite combat athletes lose entire seasons to ACL and meniscus tears sustained during heavy training at awkward angles. When the default method for building fitness relies on this kind of mechanical wear and tear, the structural cost eventually outweighs the cardiovascular gain. Ron Henson has spent 4 decades studying human movement, but his current framework was forged after a severe cardiac event left him with an SICD implant and a body that had to drastically relearn how to handle mechanical stress. Ron's research began at the point of necessity. He needed a way to manage force and internal pressure without his system collapsing under physical instability. For 9 straight years, Ron tracked his own heart rate variability and autonomic nervous system responses, pulling continuous biometric data to see exactly how his body reacted to physical load and recovery. What emerged from that data was the autobiography of a nervous system, a methodology mapping exactly how to absorb, redirect, and stabilize force in real time. Ron built an instruction manual for his own survival, and in the process mapped out a precise blueprint that anyone can use to preserve their joints and extend their functional lifespan. He started by hacking a standard piece of gym equipment, the Precor elliptical. By manipulating its specific ramp angles and resistance settings, he turned a generic cardio machine into a highly controlled multiplanar stability platform. He calls the system arc shielding. Arc stands for alignment to organize the joints, rotation to expose weak points, and control to protect the physical system under load. The core protocol uses a 360-degree clockwork sequence across 9, 12, and 3 o'clock positions, forcing stabilization against lateral and medial angles. Alternating forward and reverse pedaling under high resistance forces hamstrings and glutes to pull the tibia back, shielding the ACL from shear force. Traditional gym machines lock you into a single predictable track. This specific clockwork sequence prepares the knee to safely handle the complex multi-directional demands of actual human movement. Structural control is only half the equation. The body constantly leaks energy and recovery capacity through poor physical alignment and internal autonomic panic. Ron developed the cup of water test to measure this. It requires the athlete to keep their torso perfectly level, just as if balancing a full cup of water, while the lower body grinds through multiplanar resistance, forcing the entire trunk to act as a 360-degree shock absorber. Then there is the breath leak. When your heart rate spikes, chaotic breathing signals panic, triggering fight or flight and draining your endurance. To counter this, arc shielding requires a strict 3-second inhale and 3-second exhale rhythm. This forces the athlete to pay what Ron calls the oxygen toll, maintaining strict autonomic regulation even when physical output hits maximum capacity. By locking down both mechanical movement and breath, the system ensures high-intensity training never triggers a state of biological emergency. The geometry of a safe joint behaves the same way whether you are 25 or 75. The core principles of load distribution do not change. For older adults, lowering the ramp and resistance allows them to safely elevate their heart rate and build crucial stabilizing muscle without exposing vulnerable joints to a single instance of impact shock. Meanwhile, a UFC contender preparing for a championship fight uses those exact same clockwork arcs at maximum resistance, conditioning their knees to survive violent cage scrambles under deep cardiovascular fatigue. It operates as a single, scalable architecture that delivers elite athletic conditioning while actively preserving the structure of the body. Arc shielding is now a formalized framework of standardized protocols and progression templates designed for immediate implementation in professional gyms and performance institutes. This is a data-driven survival manual that has moved out of the margins, and an open call to Joe Rogan to examine how this system can protect the athletes who need it most. Because the ultimate goal is to build a body that lasts a lifetime, so that when the day really gets hard, you have the structural and internal resilience to just breathe.